We're going to do a drawing of some mannequins. This is an excellent opportunity to work on cross-hatching and hatching, stippling, or scumbling, whatever it is you're working on. Welcome to the Art Project. Please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. So the paper is supposed to be 12 inches by 12 inches square. You can use any paper you want to if you're doing this on your own at home, but in my class it's 12 inches by 12 inches. You're going to put your ruler at the bottom of the paper or the top of the paper, put the 0 on the edge, and then put a mark on the 3, the 6, and the 9. Then you're going to put the ruler on the other end, put a mark again on the 3, 6, and 9, and then you're going to connect those. This is the 6-inch marks that I made. You have to have 2 marks in order to make sure that your ruler is perfectly parallel with the sides of the paper. This is the 6 and the 6, and these two were the 3 and the 3 that I marked. I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to repeat it again. Put my ruler close to the top, 0 on the edge, put a mark on the 3, the 6, and the 9, and then move the ruler to the bottom of the paper, the 3, the 6, and the 9. And I'm going to put my ruler on the 9s, connect them, do it again. By the way, this is for using a grid. I might not have mentioned that a minute ago, but I'm using a grid to draw these mannequins from the reference photo. And I'm going to follow the grid 1 square at a time. This is super important. That's the reason for the grid. The grid is to help you draw it. If you don't look at where the line is and where it intersects the other line, then you're not really using the grid, and you don't have any hope of it coming out right unless you are talented at drawing without the grid. The grid is really extremely helpful. Master artists have used it for centuries. Graffiti artists, muralists use it on walls and so on. It's great for enlarging a photo. So I'm just looking at each little square one at a time and drawing each line in that particular square the way I see it. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this in full speed. One of the things that I want you to pay attention to, though, is that I am going 1 square at a time. You may see me go back a square and fix something, but I'm not, drawing all the way down his body from the top of the paper to the bottom of the paper, or working on one body or mannequin and then the other mannequin. I am doing it 1 square at a time from left to right, and then the second row left to right, and the third row left to right, and the fourth row left to right. And that's how simple that is. It actually took me about 2.5 hours to do this whole project, so do not procrastinate. Now I'm going to crosshatch it with black artist pen. I'm actually using a black Sharpie pen. They're inexpensive and good for students. I already put down 1 row of hatch marks. And now I'm putting down a second row of hatch marks, and you'll notice the second pass makes the first pass even darker. So you can build darker values slowly over the course of the picture. At this point, I'm not going square by square on the grid. I'm going shape by shape, part of the mannequin by part of the mannequin. I did the head, and then I did the elbow, and then I did the arm. Now I'm working my way down the page. I try to make my hatch marks follow the contours of whatever shape it is that I'm drawing. So you can see here I'm curving it around the leg. I'm curving it around this leg. Now I'm going to go straight across that flat spot, straight across on the hand, curve it around the arm, curve it around the arm. These are called contour hatching or contour cross hatching, and it really helps the eye understand that it is a round surface. So use that whenever possible. Again, I've got a couple of layers that I'm using here, and that each layer makes the layer below it darker. Alright, now I'm going to cut the whole thing out. This, you don't have to cut it out. You can do the background in Sharpie pen if you want to. Again, if you're doing this at home, but if you were in my class, follow whatever guidelines I've given you for the project. This is probably where you're going to cut it out. Be careful with the utility knife. It will cut you. Make sure you're cutting on a cutting mat so you're not cutting up a table or scarring any important furniture or dulling the knife. Once you have everything cut out, I'm going to thoroughly glue the back. I'm putting glue all over the back of this thing. I don't want any edges peeling up. If you have any edges peeling up, it's because you don't have glue on it. Make sure that you have glue all over the back of the paper. Then I'm going to put it into place on the black paper. I got a student to help me put it into place and then spread it out. I took a piece of scrap paper and put it over it so I could press it down without getting glue on my hand or smearing it around the paper. And I'm all done. This is a great project. I really love doing this project. I love shading with a artist pen. Here is some of the student work. They were working on theirs as I was working on mine. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks.
Do not let anything stop you from making art. Just make things. Do not get so caught up in this that it stops you from making art. Or if you need to, make art about this, but never stop making things.